Hey guys, Cody with Double C Custom Leather here. First of all, I want to apologize because I haven't got a video out in a very long time, probably a month or two maybe. And I apologize for that. If any of you know me or you've watched videos of mine for a long time, you'll know I work as a paramedic in my daily life. So this pandemic with the coronavirus, COVID-19, has kept me pretty busy, to say the least. But anyhow, today we're coming to you guys with a video, and the video in itself is basically how to be more efficient in your leather shop. And what I mean by efficiency is, with leather, there's a lot of things that cause you to wait, such as dry times on dyes, dry times on glue, dry times if you do any kind of wet molding with your leather. So what we're going to do today is just kind of show you how to lay your projects out. If you have several projects, how to kind of systematically go about ordering in the steps in which you do things. So if you're coming into your leather shop and you have 3 hours to work, you can get the most out of that 3 hours, or that 6 hours, or that 12 hours. And because my life is so broken up, a lot of times I have to be efficient because I'll have multiple orders on the table. And when I come into the shop, I have to make 2 hours, like just a bang up 2 hours, or 6 hours, a bang up 6 hours, and get a lot done. So I can't be waiting for something to dry. So I always, if I have to go away or if I have to take a break from the leather work, I always try to leave whatever project needs to dry or whatever project needs some time. I try to leave that and at least get that done so it dries while I'm out doing other things. So we'll show you. You'll get a better idea of what we're talking about here in a second. And I do want to wish good health to anybody out there that may be possibly dealing with this virus. Anybody who works is what they consider an essential employee, and you're working out there every day. So my heart goes out to everybody as far as that goes. And we'll get started and show you guys what we're talking about. We're going to walk into the shop kind of like we're walking into a day or to a set amount of hours, and that's pretty much what my shop looks like right now, because I got here this morning, I started working on stuff. I've been in and out of the shop, but I haven't been working, and I'm coming in the afternoon to work for a few hours and get some stuff done. So you'll see us walk in, and I'll show you how my stuff's laid out and how it will proceed from here. All right, guys, so when we walk into my shop, you'll see I have my press open there. I'm actually planning on pressing some projects later, so it's up on the bench, ready to go. I set that up this morning when I got done working on some projects, so that way I knew, hey, I need to press some stuff tonight. So if you'll look around in my leather room, this is kind of a leather room man cave in my house. I had some stuff come in this morning. This is a gator hide that I got back from the tannery, from another young gator me and my brother killed. And I just laid that out there to check it out and see what kind of stuff is on it. So what we're going to do is look at, if you were to walk into my shop, I have, obviously some stuff I'm working on. These are some order sheets that we have. And right here, I have a shelf dedicated to projects. Okay. Excluding this project, which is a SIG 238 inside the waistband holster, and excluding this project, which is also a inside the waistband holster for M&P. You guys check the video in the link, probably be up here somewhere, and we'll show you guys that build along. But those two projects are done. Some of these projects are getting closer to done. So what we have here is, this is an inside the waistband for a Glock. Okay, we're going to set that aside. We have this project just got done dyeing. I'm going to set that aside. Here's another Glock 43 inside the waistband, a J-frame inside the waistband, a Glock 17 outside the waistband, and a valet tray that we're also doing a video on. This is one of my personal projects, so it actually is not falling into this this lineup, but we're going to act like it is, just so I can show you guys how it works. So what we got here is, here's one project that's in the process of being stitched. I ended up running out of thread, got a little bit left to go. We're going to splice a stitch in there. That's something that can wait. Okay, then we have a outside the waistband for a full-size 1911. We have the J-frame inside the waistband. We have a Glock 17 that's almost finished. And then we have this one that's about midway finished. This is also a Glock 43. So how I would approach this project, I have 5, 6 projects laying here that I'm working on all at once. The first thing I would do is take this. The reason this has not been glued yet is because I was waiting for this die to dry. So that's one of the things. I dyed this and then took a midday break, and now it is dry. We can come back and actually work on it again. So what I would do is I would go ahead and glue this up. That glue's drying. We have 3 hours to wait on that glue to dry and cure, at least. I like to give it 6. So while that's drying, instead of sitting there waiting to finish that project and come back 6 hours later and stitch it up, what we'll do is we will knock some holes in this and stitch this stiffener. From there, I don't have a dry time. This glue is already dry. It doesn't need to do anything. I'll fold this over, glue it, wait for this glue to dry. That will put this holster, when it dries, at this stage in its life, so to speak. So now this holster was also drying. We can go ahead and knock holes in it, stitch it. Okay, once it's stitched, it doesn't need to dry. It goes right into the wet mold. We're gonna press that holster across the shop over there in the press. So, and then we'll go ahead and bone that out, and then it'll need to dry for probably 12 to 24 hours, which is what this one was doing. It was drying. Went ahead and did the edges, beveled them. You know, that's all stuff we can do prior to pressing it. This holster is ready to work on edges. So this one's ready to go. All right, this holster, same thing with this black Glock holster. Knock holes in it, stitch it, fold it in half, glue it up. Now we have 3 projects that we're waiting on glue to dry. Then we have a project here that we'd be waiting on to dry for after the wet mold. We'd be waiting on the dye to dry on these edges. And we have nothing left to do, right? We're waiting on dry time. I could probably knock that out in the 6 hours that it's going to take for all this stuff to cure, or the 12 or 24 hours. And that's when I would come back and work on something like this, some stitching, something that is going to take me a little bit longer. But that's kind of how you get them moving through the shop. And if you're working on several projects at once, obviously you're going to get a lot more done in the end. So I hope this helps some people and makes you guys more efficient leather workers. Check out the links below. We'll throw some links down there for some products. Also, you guys make sure to like and subscribe, and stay tuned. Like I said, we have an inside the waistband build along for this holster, and we also have a build along for this valet tray. That's one of my personal projects that'll probably be coming out later. So you guys take care, and hopefully we'll be through with this virus thing here sometime soon.